to As Yet Untitled. I am Alan Davies. This is the show that has no plans, no topics, no agenda, no preparation, no idea. Excellent. What an excellent crowd. We will come up with a title somewhere along the line, but in order to do that, I will need some help, so please will you welcome my guests. Ivo Graham, welcome Ivo. Ivo Graham once had a close encounter in Hollywood and don't ask him to be your chauffeur. Ivo Graham. Susan Calman definitely has a god complex. Susan Calman. Sanjeev Bhaskar has been shaken and stirred and was a bit of a sickly child. And Sophie Willan, welcome Sophie. Sophie Willan thinks Santa is an idiot and wishes the drugs had worked. I'm surprised, I'm still surprised. My kids are now 6 and 5 and they totally believe in Santa. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
For a while, don't you?
Sorry, what?
Santa, he's not real. No. So sorry.
Sophie?
Sorry.
Some of us still like to have hope, Sophie.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
God, I put the stockings up every Christmas. I've got 5 for the cats.
Who fills them?
Who fills them? Yeah. Well, not me. I don't know who it is. Somebody drinks the booze. It's me.
My daughter said to me the other day, does the fireplace work? And I thought she wanted to light a fire, you know, but this is like, it's off her own about weeks in advance, worried about access.
Oh.
But you think he's an idiot?
Well, I worked as an elf, so I know him personally.
Oh, of course.
No, it wasn't really. I worked at Wigan Grotto, so it was actually not... is it the North Pole he's supposed to be in? He's actually in Wigan, and it's horrific. It's really awful, actually. Well, you have to train for 3 days, so they audition you first to be an elf. It's actually a very strict regime. And then you go there, they pick you, and then you do 3 days training with all the Santas. A lot of them do it every single year. They've done it for 20 years. They take it really, really seriously. And then you get paired up with a Santa, and you have to work in the grotto for 6 weeks with an actually really intolerable human being. Yeah.
You have to get cleared, don't you, if you're going to be near children?
Yes.
That's all I ever hear. Have you been cleared? Are you cleared? Are you cleared?
Yeah.
I haven't been cleared, no. And
I've been cleared,
right.
yeah.
Were you cleared then?
Well, I was cleared, yeah.
How? And what is that process?
This is like a discussion you hear in the ladies' toilets. No, I'm clear. I'm clear. I can carry on for the night. I'm cleared.
Well, it did get a bit tricky because I have got a criminal record, but only for like, and it's fine. It was only a bit of shoplifting when I was a teenager. It's fine. It's the usual sort of stuff, really.
What sort of things did you nick?
A pair of boots and a Satsuma or something really stupid.
When I worked at one of my many jobs was I worked at an electrical superstore. I was in charge of microwaves and vacuum cleaners. It was the glamour part of the job, and we were taught how people shoplifted. And my favourite one was people used to make pants out of tin foil. And
that's very clever.
Well, I tried it once because I thought, how to just not, you know, and it's quite sore.
Yeah.
How long did you have them on for?
Well, just a wee bit, but if you don't get the creases right, I mean, it's like lacerating your groin.
Yeah.
And there's a femoral artery in I mean, that's...
I think you can
like
wear them over your normal pants. I don't think you have to go...
Oh, God.
Come on.
I genuinely thought you just... Oh, shit.
I know what you mean, though.
It's to scramble the detectors, isn't it? Isn't that the idea?
Yeah, that's what
you
it
have a
is,
tin foil lined
and you put
coat.
the products down your pants.
You were in vacuum cleaners?
Yeah. Really?
Those are big pants.
Yeah.
Well, as you get older, you get bigger pants because there's no need to impress anyone anymore.
You can get a handheld one in your pants, can't you?
Yes,
but
you can. Yeah.
You're going cordless.
Yeah, cordless. Yeah, I don't know where you
Because
put the
otherwise that's a
charger.
giveaway, isn't it, really?
So he was a total idiot then, this Santa.
He was a bit difficult, and I said, I think you're micromanaging me, because he was very bossy, and we had a massive row outside Wigan Town Centre, and he'd been working there for years. It was my debut as an elf. So they got rid of me. I got a letter of written warning to get rid of me. It said things like, oh, you've absconded from your duty as dancing Christmas tree, you know. Which I thought was, well, of course you would abscond, because you had to stand outside, right, every now and again, they'd take you off Christmas elfing, put you in a Christmas tree, and make you stand outside Wigan Town Centre and sing Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, right? And give out flyers. How degrading is that? And then to get sacked from that. It's horrific.
Could you see out of the tree? And
Yeah.
could people see your face?
Yeah, people could see me, and I just looked really depressed. It was just like, you know, it was horrific. And then I had a hat like that on
I
top.
always imagine, you know, Santa smoking at the back of the shop with the tree.
That's what it said, actually. It said you're not allowed to eat, drink or smoke when in uniform, which meant, you know, no one wants to see a smoking Christmas tree eating a pasta, you know.
I think it sounds
quite
really good.
difficult.
I would love that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I love all that kind of... I've just bought a house and I want to... at Christmas time, I want to be the one, you know, that people drive past the house and go, God, some lunatic lives in that house because it's like full of Christmas lights, and I'm going to. I've got an elf costume for Christmas Day because
You'd
I
be
want
fabulous.
to dress up as an elf, and then when everyone comes in, I go, "Hello, welcome to my elf kingdom," and then they come in and. So I think. I think.
With your foil pants.
Yes, I know.
And here's your present. It's handheld vacuum cleaners for everyone.
Mothers like giving you stupid... My mum gives
I'm
me
a monster.
T-shirts with sequined cats on them. And she always buys me a size 10 because she's a really hopeful woman. And then I have to put it on Christmas Day and she goes, oh, let's take a picture. Have you ever seen a sausage bursting out of its skin? It's just me like that. In a sequined cat T-shirt. And I don't like it, but she loves...
Perhaps you could send one of those in and we'll put it on the closing credits. You can watch the rest of this episode on UK TV Play. And now for some extra stories that didn't make the show. Can you tell us more about this bikini incident? What age were
Well,
you?
I must say it was a very hot day in Bolton.
That's a rare thing.
They come once a decade. You've got to go for it. You really do. And I...
It's the best start to a story ever. It's a very hot day in Bolton.
I'm just going to make a note of that. I have to write down potential titles.
Yeah.
It was
A hot
a
day.
very hot day in Bolton.
Bolton. Yes.
Ivo, I quite like yours.
What, coming to Eton for a bit of a play?
Drafted it.
Yeah.
Drafted
Drafted
in
In for a bit of a play. Drafted in for a bit of... Now, what age were you when you had
It
the
was
bikini?
15.
15?
So I'd been skiving school, and when I got my letter back, my expulsion letter, it said, hanging around with people who are not members of the school, which is basically a polite way of saying fuckwits, basically. Yeah. I don't know if that's allowed. Can you swear?
Yes, you can
Well, I have
fucking
now,
swear.
so that's done.
Fuckwits.
Yes. Woo, I feel...
Fuckwits. That's a good
I'm
title.
fine.
That's a good title.
So we've...
Fuckwits with a Z I've gone for.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So we'd been drinking a bit, and we'd been putting baby oil on because we didn't know at that point you could get cancer from it. So my grandma used to do it topless, painting the shed. You know, she'd always put baby oil on, or cooking oil if she didn't have it. You'd come back, she'd be like that, you know.
Smoking, covered in oil, standing in the sun.
It was painting the fence or something. You'd
At
come
what
back.
age? I'm trying to picture
So
her
I was
now.
about 15. So
Now,
she
what
would,
age was she when
Yeah.
she
She
was
was very young, so she was like 48 when I went to... Because I went to live with my grandmother. I went to live with her when she was 48, and she just got divorced and started wearing zebra prints, so she was quite liberal.
Oh, she was a right laugh.
You know,
Bang
yeah.
up for it.
Yeah, she
I'm
was
going to
quite
paint the
fun.
shed, Soph.
Yeah, so you'd come back and she'd be
Go
there.
down the shop, get some fags, I'm going to paint the shed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it in the garden?
So I
Did
was
she have
in
an
the
enclosed
garden.
garden? I'm sorry, I'm focusing on
Oh,
your
yeah,
grandmother
you-
now, sorry. Because I find the idea of just stripping off to paint a shed a health and safety issue for a start, because there's splinters. So she would... Well, you don't want to get a splinter in your nipple if there's anywhere you don't want to
That'd be
get one.
horrific.
That would be really
Yeah.
horrific.
She'd
so.
just be painting the fence or whatever, and she'd just have, you know, just topless. And then she'll hate me for this, because I'm good. Hello, Grandma, sorry. She used to wear cooking oil and just paint the fence, and because she liked to get a tan. So I didn't know that it was bad to put oil on.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'd do the same. So when we were skiving off school, me and my friends, you'd put some oil on and, you know, bikinis on and have a few drinks. And then one day we thought, actually, we need to be out. We need to get out onto the field where the school is, because that's where it's pretty, you know. So we went in our bikinis.
The call of the wild suddenly arrived.
Exactly.
Where were you getting your
That's
Where were you getting
free.
your booze from? Where did you get
The
your...
co-op. So,
They,
so,
they
yeah.
sold it to you, did they?
Well,
the
I
co-op?
was quite well developed from an early age,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, I was quite lucky in that area, really. So, you know,
It's a little known fact that off licences sell you depending on how big your tits are. It's
Yeah.
quite a. That's why often the more developed girl in the class, the
Yeah.
one with the breasts, is asked to go in, because if you're
Yes.
flat chested, they think you're younger.
you
Can I
make a
just say that to have been privy to a story like this as a 15-year-old at Eton, we wouldn't have needed any plays ever again.
You'd have needed some counselling.
We'd have needed a warm down, I think.
Is that what they call it?
I think that's what we'll call it for now.
After the girls gone back to St Mary's House, could the boys have a warm down?
Let's chat about what went on and how it made us feel. A, proud, B, ashamed, C, confused. And then off for a pint. Just the one,
or two if you swap.
or two if you swap.
So you
But
turn
also-
up.
but
What
also-
booze? What were you having? Cinzano, I'm imagining.
Well, no, cider, actually. But,
Cider.
yeah, cheap. It's, you're spending, that's your pocket money, isn't it?
Did your
cider?
local off licence, did it have all cages around all the booze?
No, it didn't. No, we weren't that such a while. They just serve it to us anyway. They were
Would
quite
they?
free. Yeah, did
But
yours?
also, but also, if a
No,
buxom
but-
girl came in a bikini covered in oil,
Sanjeev, please.
I would sell her anything. I mean, it would be kind of like,
Just to keep her there.
as long as possible.
Try some of this. Have you tried this? It's Dubonnet.
How about some raw plugs?
Yeah.
Lovely raw plugs there.
Well, we did all right with it. You know, we had a pram. This is awful. We used to have a pram. I was quite a scally back then, so just, you know, don't judge me, you know. Well, if you want, I don't care.
I won't judge you till I've looked up the word.
Okay. So we had a pram. We used to put the booze in the bottom, you see,
Yeah.
and then sort of go off with it. Susan's done it. She's like, yes, this is.
No, I'm aware that would be a good. I used to use my grand shopping trolley
Yeah.
rather than a pram because.
Did you push
I
it
mean,
or
You
you're
could
in?
carry the booze.
No, I think the idea of me with a pram would look.
Well, you could fit in it.
Well, I
couldn't
could.
you?
Well, I could have just gone in as because I think I look quite. I think I didn't have a pram, but it's a good.
Yeah, it's a
When
good-
they shoplifted, they used to use the pram.
That is
They
the.
used to train the children to shoplift.
We did. Yeah, that is a good one to put the booze. If you just want an extra bottle of cider, just put it under the pram. Nobody
Yeah.
know.
No
And then we
one
went by the
allowed that.
field because we thought we just need a bit of grass and a bit
Yeah.
of the sunshine and
Yeah.
to let loose. So we went there, the school field, and then our cassette player ran out of charged battery. So we thought, well, actually, in the tech lab at school, they've got batteries.
Of course they have.
So in that sort of drunken state, I
Makes
was like,
complete
oh,
sense.
yeah.
Complete sense.
So I sort of paraded through the school like, I have a battery. And then I bumped into the headmaster. He was like, this is despicable. I was like, fuck you, I'm here some batteries. And then I woke up 2 days later and I had a letter.
Woke up 2 days
Well,
later.
no. Sorry, 2 days later.
A letter arrived.
When I went home, yeah, a letter arrived and it said, you know, Sophie arrived to school in non-uniform. Then it said in brackets, a bikini on one occasion.
The Venn
So,
diagram
very
of our
naughty.
childhoods is two very distinct circles.
It's quite nice, isn't it? Very opposite. It's nice we can get on, though, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely lovely.
Lovely.
I used to smoke heavily, and I stopped for a number of reasons. Largely because people used to come up to me outside pubs and go, "That'll stunt your growth." So, and I think when I started thinking, yeah, it's
What
really
did you say in response to that?
fuck off.
Yeah,
My mum's 4'7". I didn't have a chance.
yeah.
Oh, you tower over her.
My mum's 4'7" and my sister's 4'6". We didn't cut our legs off.
Smoke so much.
It's like chimneys and two, isn't it?
Just my mum like that.
Massive cigarette.
And I think when you
The length of the living room.
when people used to smoke, when I started in comedy, I used to smoke on stage. And I would get through 20 cigarettes.
Very, very cool.
It was, oh God, I looked, I mean, amazing. Now, less so, but at the time, like Angelina Jolie, it was amazing. I looked taller. And used to smoke loads, so you couldn't smell people. You couldn't.
That's right.
You couldn't smell people, and now you can smell people. And I have an amazing sense of smell, like an amazing sense of smell.
Just boast after boast.
Yes. And I can smell a fart at 100 feet, and it's life. Life for me is.
Accusatory, that wasn't it?
You're all fine.
Yeah, you're not them.
You're all fine. Smell you, you're fine.
Life is
It's
quite
not possible.
difficult.
I don't believe you.
Oh, I can smell. Oh,
Because there's got all these people here.
smell-
Someone, in the time that we've been talking,
Yeah.
someone has farted.
Yeah, over there, just over there.
I mean, it's not possible to
He's
squash all
twitching.
these
He's
people.
twitching in the front row. He's like that. Jesus, how did she know?
Let's go by a show of hands. Who has boffed so far?
One thing is, it's more.
Who's bunking off
difficult.
work?
Oh, this lady's put a hand
Same
up.
three people. No one would admit to
Difficult. It's more.
farting.
You have people. I think there's more. Oh, I have to smell quite nice because. I mean, I mean, this is just a plea. I think if you do fart, please own up to it, because I was in John Lewis Haberdashery the other day. It's one of my favourite places. and I was in the haberdashery with my mum, and I walked through someone else's fart. And I found myself standing in someone else's fart. And I was like, oh my God, that's horrific. And my mum said, Susan. I said,
Has your mum gone under the fart? She's just gone clean under it. There's
Yeah.
nothing down here.
she's good.
I'm clear.
She's good in the event of a fire because she can just stay under the smoke. And I said, it wasn't me. And she went, oh, just own up to it. And it was because someone else had gone,
Now, you know
run
what,
away.
Susan, I hate to pick holes in a charming tale, but if you
especially when you speak to me like that, Ivor, this is quite...
if you really were the guff detector that you claim to be,
Yeah.
you'd surely have smelt that fart coming from the other side of the room, so you wouldn't have been anywhere near it in the first place.
I move at speed through the haberdashery department.
I do apologise. My objections
I
have
used
been.
to have a dog, and it used to. I knew when it had farted because.
The guilt in its eyes.
No, what it would do was it would leave the room. It never left the room that I was in. Like, whatever room I was in, the dog would be in. Right? The dogs, they like being on their own, and if you're doing something, they want to see what it is you're doing. And if you're sitting down, they'll sit and wait for you to do something else. That's what dogs do. But sometimes she would just get up and leave the room. And I soon learned that what you do then is you leave the room as well. But don't go into the room that she's in. You need at least 3 rooms if you've got a dog. You need the room that she's done the incredible stinking shitty fart in, the other room that she's gone into taking it with her, and the escape room.